one of the two, whatever project you decide to choose. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a little bit more on the project after. But then this is the how-to mechanical skill set. All right, so you can follow along, or I'm gonna pause after the demo and then let everyone to try it. And then after that, we'll continue on to the second example. So I wanna make sure you have some time to practice. So first of all is the combo chart. So the moment you open the Tableau, the data set have already been prepared for you, and then you really have to understand what the question is asking for. Okay? So before you go to other slide, the other slide have more of a detailed step by step. So I want you guys to really try it out just by looking at the 5-step instructions. Okay? Rather than go into the detail level on the how to. So try it. Unless you really got stuck, then I would say go into the details. Because the details then become too mechanical, it's too simple, you don't really learn a lot of things after. So start being looking at build a combo chart comparing budget, sales, and sales over time. So you can look at a smaller screen, right? So it's really about how do you build the first chart. So give you is kind of a quick visual of what to expect. And then understanding what the question asking for, budget sales and sales over time. Okay, so this is the approach. So when you start in looking at a new data set, don't worry about too much of the thing, but then again, how do you approach it? Read each field carefully. What does each field say? Okay, now you have budget sales, so you see enter measure, and then you see sales. Okay, those are the two fields that you're gonna be needing to build the first step, right? So what it says, combo chart comparing budget sales and sales over time. So when you see the word over time, what does it mean to you? Anyone?
Year to date? I don't know.
Year to date. The other one's longitudinal. Anything else?
It's better
Because
to see it
the-
in a line chart.
Sorry?
It's better to see it in a line chart.
Yeah, it's better to see it in a line chart. So when you see over time, it means trending. Okay? So you want to build a trending. So when you build trending, then what are the other specifics that you should be looking for in the data field?
What?
Any takers?
Outside.
So what do you need on the x-axis? Let's say we want to build a trending chart. What's
Time.
on the x-axis?
Time.
Time, right? So what's the field that's gonna give you the time in here?
Date?
Date, right? Date field gonna give you the time. Okay? So again, double click on date. Alright, so now you see there are 2 years. Simple enough, double click budget sales, simple click, double click on sales. Okay, so you get a cross tab quickly. And then because you have multiple measures, right? So this is a quick way to do it. So double clicking. Again, there's multiple ways to achieve the same result. So that's all I'm saying, right? So a tool is a tool. Again, you have to understand what it is. Then under show me, you should be seeing line chart. Okay, the line chart should be coming up because why is that? You have more than one measures. Okay, you have more than one measures in this row. Okay, so you click that, a line chart becomes available. But then you notice a line chart are individualized, right? So each line is represented. And then because you only have 2 years of data, then the line becomes sort of straight, right? So there's nothing interesting. So the next thing you want to look at is really how do you make it more interesting? From a time perspective, 2 years means 2 data points. 2 years, if you look at in quarter, that is 8 data points, correct? And then when you do more, drill down on the date, so you have more data points, okay? So now you have 8 data points. If you go down further, now you have the months, okay? So that is more relevant, okay? So there's more of a actual trending that you're seeing. But then if you even go down further to days, weeks, okay? So there's a lot more ability for you to drill down. So I'm gonna stay up to months. Okay? So when we say combo chart, think about Excel. You wanna build a new axis. Okay, so that meaning you want the two lines to be represented on the same graph. Okay, instead of having two different y-axes, both starting from 0. So on any of the measures, right click on do ax, and then that's it. Okay, so it combine the two together, then you see the two are on the same chart. Okay, there's a little bit more
Question.
on that. So very, yes.
What did you click? The right click and then it combined?
Dual axis.
Two axes. Okay, so right click on the measure name on the rows. On the rows, you're not clicking the red one. Yes, there you go. Okay, so on the rows you see two axes down there, and then you should be able to do that. So right click on any of the names on the rows for your measures, and then you have that available, and then you can change the type if you want. Okay. So this is one way to understand how to build the first thing, okay? And then there's a little bit more on the next step if you want. So I'll talk about the other synchronization after. Because right now, the first step is you have built the first chart. But then you might notice one thing is your 35K on the right side is a bit lower than the 35K on the left side, okay? So you have to be careful, read your chart carefully. So you're not saying once you build a chart, it's done. Okay? Your axes are not synchronized. So that meaning they are not in sync. So from the perspective on the proportion, so when you're showing one over the other, then they're not really proportionally represented, okay, for the same thing. So you right click on the axes, okay? And then, because this is the secondary axis, so in Excel terms, and then you should looking at synchronize your axes. Okay, click on that, and now you notice they are on the same height. Okay, so that's also important. So when you create these type of charts, always remember to look for the small details, and then really the key things are always in the details. Okay. So once you synchronize the axes, because they are the same unit, right? So sales and budget sales, they're all in dollars. And then proportion-wise, they are very similar, and then there's nothing really that are different, okay? So that meaning on the secondary axis, you can hide this. So you don't need to show, because everything can be shown by one axis, right? Because they are, again, the same unit. You only do this for the same unit for the measure, okay? For measures that have the same unit. If you're doing for a dollar and a percentage, you cannot do it, okay? Because the reader will get confused. So this is one way to actually get more real estate on a chart to hide one header, and then rename. Always remember, because you hide the ones that cause sales, right? So because now you have budget sales and sales. Okay? So then your y-axis is more clear. And then your differential are shown by the actual ledger. Okay, so that's your first step. So understanding how to do a quick combo chart. Okay, the second piece, change your bar, the budget sales mark to bars and the color to green. So there's two things. Now I'm gonna introduce what's called marks. Okay, so you always been working with one marks. So this is marks card on the left side over here. There's all, and then there's a mark card for each of the individual variables, the measures. Okay? If you change the one for budget, then that meaning only the budget line, the blue ones right now, gonna get affected. Okay? If you change this the one on sales, it's only the orange line that's gonna get affected. But if you change everything under all, that means both lines will get affected. Okay? So the best thing is to try it out, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so let's see. So let's say if we want to change both as bars, then I change it. Because sales are bigger than budget sales, right? So then the orange bars are actually covering the budget lines. So if you change to circle, now you see both lines are changing by the types. Okay, so under all. So I'll leave into line, so that's original. But if I change only under the budget, okay, so let's say I change the size, so that meaning the boldness of the line. So increase that, then you see the blue lines being bolded. A little bit more on the sides, you can shrink it, you can shrink it even smaller. So whatever style you want. Okay? So now you only see the blue ones because the blue ones are budget sales, so that's being represented. And then if you want to change that into a bar, click drop down. Sorry, one second. Close my work email so it doesn't keep bumping in. Then you have the bar chart. Okay? Now create it. And now you might notice it's pretty thin, right? You don't like the style, then you can change the size, right? So if you want to have more of a weighting, right? So you can have more on the budget sales over here. Okay? So that's how these things are being worked. And then if you want a fixed style, then this is the fixed style. So you don't have to worry about the sizing. It will always be automatic. Okay? For that. So this is under the size. And then this is under color. If you want to change colors for budget, click edit colors. But then before it select any color, Tableau have to know what measure are you changing. So you have to click on budget sales. Okay, so now you see it highlighted. You want grain, click on grain, and then click apply, and okay. Okay, now you're gonna be changing for grain. So you notice the sales line, the orange, never changed, right? Because you change everything under the budget. So that's for the mark cards, okay? But then under the all, so it doesn't really affect the other ones. Okay, you only change one over the other. So you do not change both at the same time. Okay? So that completes the second step. Change your budget sale mark to bars and color to green. Okay, so we've done that. Alright. So the third thing is change your sales mark to brown. Okay, so now you're gonna go to the mark card for sales, right? Then change the color, add a color, and then click on sales. You wanna make sure that's the one you're selecting, and then change it to brown, click OK. Now the color of the line will change. Okay, only for that, but not for all. Alright, so that's step number 3. Step number 4, oh, because we already did desynchronize the axis and hide the right header. Okay, so we already complete that under step 1, so I guess I jumped ahead a little bit. And then we rename the axis on the left side for budget and sales. So basically this is complete, one example. Okay, so I'll give you guys 10 minutes to try it out on your own. So start doing it. And then if you have questions, let me know in between, and then I can come over. Okay, and then we'll start the next example after that.